Hi, welcome to Linux channel. So looking at the video title, hope you guys are aware that what I'm going to speak about. There are day by day I see there are students who join are getting younger. I mean to say the age group which they are coming from versus my age and I see a lot of them are more ambitious, they are more career oriented, they are more aware of the things thanks to social media and thanks to even platform like chat GPT and things like that. So they know a lot of things which we are not aware at our age at that point of time, and at the same time they still are coming at a very young age when they are just started their career, but they want to improve their skills and stuff. So one thing I see is people and the corporates, they are very much aware of what open source is and things like that. At this point of time, it's not like during those days when no one is much aware of. But the interesting thing and the sad part, what I see these days is those days there used to be a lot of community events on open source, topics on open source technology, knowledge share. I mean to say like real physical events, and it's also related to Linux user groups and things like that. Used to be more prevalent in those days. But now it has lost its luster, and again thanks to social media, we are all aware what these things are and what open source movement is all about. But not much it is happening anymore. It's not like things which were there in the past. It is used to be more like a lot of events like a brotherhood or sisterhood or things like that, where different individuals with common interest used to come together and used to self-organize an event, and they used to talk and do knowledge sharing and things like that. It can be any open source topics and as well as technology topics and stuff like that. But it's kind of not happening like it was there before. And again, there is also another trend I see with respect to open source community is the way corporations or companies are utilizing open source technology. There is no doubt about it. Everybody is trying to take their own piece of cake, but at the same time they just have become like rack pickers. Actually, just have something there, and they just try to take the thing which they are looking for, and then they try to take a chunk of it and try to build a certain technology or a product on top of it, and they can make a service or a full-fledged product out of it. But again, it's just done behind the scenes. It's not something like it's been widely acknowledged and celebrated and things like this. See, the whole thing about it is there's not much of community events happening at this point of time, or these days quite lately. Of course, there is once in a while some event happen, but again it is heavily backed by all different corporates which they have their own self-interest. It can be paid sponsors and stuff like that, but they're just coming because they just want to promote their product, so they just want to sponsor and stuff like that. But it's not a community event like it was existed before, where the prime focus is knowledge share and meeting with people, and generally the whole movement about it. And there is also some sort of bifurcation. When we say open source, people always associate with Linux. It's not necessary. It can include all open source stuff. It can include various other projects as well, not just Linux alone. And of course, there used to be Linux kernel groups in every country and every region those days. Even in India, you can see there used to be Bangalore, Delhi, and Chennai, and like that. Even it is region based, not just country based. I'm not seeing that much, happening even on that aspect as well. This year, if I touch this August 2025, it's almost a decade ago I started this channel, the Linux channel. So it is exactly 10 years once it is around August 15th or something like that. So it is something like that I started. Okay, so it's 2015 I started. So this year it should touch, it should finish 10 years. But over the years I see that there's a lot of progression. It's more getting corporatization, and people have their own vested interests, and it's just of course being utilized, and of course people are also contributing. I'm not again denying that. I'm not a person who actively contributed anything to kernel mainline or things like that, but I have done in my own way, and also even this channel itself is contribution back to the community. But it is happening, but it's not again, it's just people have, the more younger generation, what I see is they just take it like just, granted. Yes, it's there, okay, fine. How can I use this? The more queries also I get, sometimes, yes, it is good to have that conversation. But even recently I got a query where someone is asking, what are the, if I go through that query, is it worthy enough in this era or something like that. It's like what I can make money out of it, or something like that, how much salary I can expect in a career like this versus something else. So this is what we are coming at this stage now. So it's lot of become corporatized versus what it was there in the past. Again, I'm not saying the viewer query is anything wrong with that. Of course, you select a career with an intention that how much you can get success. Of course, I don't like to use the word how much you can get yourself, you be content with that career choice as a whole. I'm not just saying salary alone, the whole the career choice itself, how much you can get content with that. So what I see is there's a lot of corporatization is there. Corporates, they are busy with as I said, rather than saying cherry picking or forking it and then using it in their products, they have almost become like quick rat pickers. They are become like opportunists. Okay, they just come and then quickly take and then see how best they can utilize to build their components of their entire product infrastructure. So it has become like that. Even since I was also working recently full time and also as a CTO, even I don't deny that. Okay, even I myself have become a rat picker. I can just quickly grab something which is available, something quickly I can customize and start using it in my framework, which is, I'm not absolutely denying it. But at the same time, we are not actually celebrating. It's no more a movement. It's not having that luster, and it's no longer have that sort of a community building. The whole thing what we lost is the community and people connecting with each other. Yes, even people connection we lost as a whole, and this is really saddening. And I feel it's high time that individuals must come together. We need to more participate or organize events, or conduct any sort of podcast. Even I am thinking sometimes maybe I do some podcast in the channel rather than all the time teaching about kernel, Linux and stuff like that. It's beyond that. See, the whole context of starting the Linux channel is, I thought maybe I cover some few Linux kernel dev videos and stuff like that. But after some time I got to know that there's more than that. I can do lot many things, and this is what the channel have evolved. And I see that the transition and the progression of this, the whole open source stuff is, it's no longer a movement. It's no longer a hobby participation or something like that. It's just become more corporatization. I just learn these things and then I get some job skills which I can list it down in my resume, and then I get a good paying salaried job, and that's about it. So it's no longer anything like that. So that is something I feel very sad, and I feel people who are enthusiasts, open source enthusiasts, it's high time people like us should unite. And I was long back, I was even a Linux advocate, and I'm a person who used to always compare the ecosystem of Windows versus Linux and stuff like that, where people never used to understand these things those days. Actually, now it's fine, we have Android phones, everybody knows somewhere it has Linux, but most of them also don't know in what way it has Linux actually. So still it is long way to go, but it's no longer that type of celebration we have. It's just become corporatization, like the way we have our movies as well. It's no longer about interesting stories or the movie as a whole. It has become something else. Especially I'm talking about Indian cinema. Even the good movies, at times you feel the movie is very good in YouTube shorts or Instagram reels or something like that, or some YouTube clips. But when you go to a theater and sit the whole movie, you feel bored, and you feel all these cut pieces are put together in a movie. Actually, I'm not again criticizing, not all movies are like that, but it has become like that. So similarly, what happens is it's just it's not anymore storytelling or something. It's just one scene. You feel very interesting when you see in Instagram reel or something like that, or YouTube shorts, or a short YouTube video, long videos I'm saying, 3 minutes or something. But the whole movie you sit in a theater, you feel kind of bored. Okay, this is not the case. The movies in the past, it's more about complete storytelling, and of course there are thriller movies, horror movies, and those genres as well. But the whole movie took as a whole used to entertain us. But these days the whole movie is no longer entertaining us. This is just one song in the movie is entertaining, or just one scene in that movie is entertaining. Other than that, it's just these cut pieces are entertaining, because again we have corporatized this entire movie industry. Similarly, even open source, it has got corporatization rather than having that type of emotion put together. Now there is no longer that in place. So I feel whoever watching this video, let's unite together. People who are enthusiastic about open source, not just somebody who is career driven or something like that. It's just beyond that. People who are enthusiastic about this movement, let's all join hands together and come up with some exciting events and interesting stuff, and we see that what we can do further.